Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. I'm here today to show you the first aid kit that I keep in the boat. Okay, so I say I keep this in the boat, which I do. I keep this particular version of this first aid kit in the boat, and the reason this one goes in the boat is because it's got a waterproof box that we're going to show you. That's the reason it goes in a boat, because it's got this waterproof box and it's got the handle on here so I can secure it to my kayak. And when I say boat, that's what I mean, is the kayak. I also carry this with me when we go on road trips, especially when we're going hunting. And during hunting season, I keep this in my Honda just to have it, because you know, I've had a lot of injuries while I'm hunting, fishing. I'm injury prone, I'm accident prone. We were on a hunt a few years ago and got down to Texas, and I accidentally closed the door on my son's hand. I didn't know he was getting out, and closed the door on his hand, and had to run to a gas station and buy stuff to fix him up. So ever since then, I've kept a first aid kit on me, and this is kind of what I keep in my first aid kit at all times. Like I said, this particular version is in the boat just because it's in a waterproof container, and this waterproof container is about $7 at Walmart, so pretty cheap container. And then everything inside it I just buy individually because it's cheaper that way and easier that way to get what you want. I looked through a lot of these first aid kits and could not find one that had everything I wanted in it, so I put this one together myself and got what I needed and what I wanted here. So I'm gonna put it on my desktop here and we'll show you what we got inside. Okay, so keep in mind this is not a survival kit, so you're not going to find things like matches and fire starting materials and stuff like that. This is a first aid kit. This is meant to patch you up if you're injured. That's just about it. But it does have a few survival things in here, but for the most part it's just first aid stuff. You're going to have to excuse the top of my desk. I got broadheads, my pipe, glasses, fishing lures, just all kinds of stuff on here, and I didn't feel like cleaning it up. So first thing is this box. This is a waterproof box that you can pick up at Walmart. This is just an Ozark Trail box. This is their large, comes in blue or orange. I like the orange because you can say, hey, go get the first aid kit. It's in a blaze orange box. People are going to see the blaze orange. So that's why I like the blaze orange. Waterproof, got a gasket inside, like I said, about $7, so pretty cheap overall. First thing you got in here, and you can get these on the internet, is just a handy little thing that helps you with brief essentials of first aid, the essentials of first aid, and gives you kind of a rundown of stuff like that. And you say, well, Ike, I know how to do first aid. Sometimes this is going to be used on you, so your wife or your hunting buddy or someone like that may have to use this on you. So even if you know first aid, it's good to have something like this in here just in case you need the first aid and the other person doesn't know what to do. So this is something that covers pretty much basic little stuff in brief, easy to follow directions. Nothing too, you don't need a you know, big survival guide in here or something like that. Emergency blanket. You can see all this stuff is from Elite First Aid. This is all really good stuff, military grade stuff, I assume. That's the way they advertise it anyway. So it's all from Elite First Aid. So we got an emergency blanket in here, really good for on the river or when you're hunting, because you're in an environment where you can fall in the water and you can get cold. So pretty nice to have an emergency blanket. I carry that one with me in a lot of places. A scalpel, I like a scalpel, but I didn't like the scalpel. I like having a scalpel, but I didn't like the fact that the scalpel was pretty much open all the time. So I ended up getting just one of my old knives with a razor blade in there, and that's what I use for this. Comes in pretty handy if you need to do something in the field. Hopefully you're not doing surgery, but it's nice to have a knife, and it's nice to have a good sharp knife. And we got stuff in here to sanitize this in case you need to do that later. Big bandages. Big bandages are always handy. This is a bleed stop bandage. It's multi-purpose wound and trauma dressing, again from Elite First Aid. These are really, really handy to put some pressure on the wound and get bleeding to stop. A couple more big ABP pads, extra absorbent. These are just big sterile pads that are easy to will absorb a lot of blood, and you can cover a big surface area. So there's those. Triangular bandage. This is going to be good for if you need to make a sling, if you need to, you know, make a compress, if you need to make a tourniquet, all kinds of different uses for a triangle bandage. So it's a pretty handy thing to have in here. Next thing you're going to find in here in my kit is just a bunch of different stuff for sterilization and small package stuff. Povidone iodine. This is iodine. This is a prep pad for sterilizing skin and things like that before you have to do surgery or have to do something on someone. So you got some of those in there. Again, an antiseptic towelette to clean the wound, clean your hands, clean the instruments that you're going to be using. Alcohol pad. This is what you're going to be using for really to sterilize all of your equipment and stuff like that that you're going to be needing to use while you're doing that. Try to get all those out of there. Next thing we've got some first aid and burn cream and some triple antibiotic ointment. Don't keep a whole lot of those in there. Another deal of burn cream. If you're out in the sun all the time, you know, your chances of getting burned are pretty good. Triple antibiotic ointment and first aid and burn cream. That's about all of those I keep in there. You know, this isn't meant to treat you forever. It's just meant to treat you till you get home. A couple deals of pain reliever. Another deal of pain reliever. Tape. This is good waterproof Curad tape, so you can use it in conjunction with these pads up here, and you can bind a wound, things like that. Rubber gloves. Again, if you're treating yourself, maybe you don't need rubber gloves, but if you're treating someone else, rubber gloves are handy. I probably need to put another pair in there. Wound seal. Pick this up at Walgreens or something like that. Stuff works pretty good. Stop bleeding instantly, not so much, but it does stop bleeding a lot quicker than it would without this stuff in there. So pretty nice to have that in there. Just a roll of gauze, sterile gauze, another roll of tape. Package of bandages, just a few different size bandages in there, pretty big ones, pretty good. Oh, there's probably 25 or so in there, so pretty good assortment of bandages in there. And forceps. Forceps, tweezers, whatever you want to call them. Those are handy for doing all kinds of different stuff, removing splinters, hooks, things like that. So you got those. There's your forceps, your hemostats. Those are good for removing fishing hooks, binding a wound, and in use in conjunction with this right here. This again came from Elite First Aid, and this is suture material. It has your hook or your needle already on there, and it's hooked right to the suture material, and you can sew up a wound with this. And if you sew up your own wounds like I do, or I have in the past, they can look pretty ragged, but sometimes it can be really, really handy to have those. Pair of scissors. Just the skin, these came from Elite. Not real great scissors, but they'll work in a bind to cut stuff. Again, a bunch of bobby, or I don't even know what you call these things. The name has just completely skipped my mind what this is. But anyway, you can use those to close up that triangular bandage. You can use it for the rolls of gauze and things like that. So, you know, those come in handy for holding things together and things like that. Chapstick. Sometimes you get out and your lips get chapped. You can use this on your lips and stuff like that. Last couple things down in the bottom of this is popsicle sticks. Break a finger, you got popsicle sticks. So that's what I keep in my first aid kit. And the popsicle sticks probably aren't going to come in handy, but that came from the story I was telling you earlier about slamming the door in my son's hands, and I thought I broke his finger. So popsicle sticks can come in pretty handy. So that is what I keep in my first aid kit. This particular version is for the boat. The one that I keep in the Honda has a little bit more stuff than this, and that's the one that I carry with me hunting on road trips and things like this. But this is the compact, condensed version that I carry with me in the boat, in the kayak, and while we're going fishing. So, hope this helped you guys out and put together your own first aid kit. Okay, so that is what I keep in my first aid kit. Now, keep in mind that I am not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a first responder. I did work for a vet at one point. I do play a doctor on TV, and I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night. So that is how much my advice is worth. This is what I use. Most of the time, I don't ever end up using these things, but these are the things that in my mind I think I need to have just in case something goes wrong. I get a hook in my finger, I cut myself, which I cut myself a lot hunting, slam a kid's fingers in a door, things like that. So this is kind of what I keep in mind. This is not coming from any kind of medical background though. So I would love to hear what you guys think I should add to this, or what you think that I have in there that's redundant and I don't need, or just some advice on what should go in there for me, for my kids, for whatever other people that are going to be around me in case of accidents. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section as far as what I should add to this or what I should take out of this, and as far as what kind of stuff that I need to have in there. Some of this stuff is not, you know, the good stuff or the quality stuff. What kind of stuff should I be getting for stuff? All this stuff came from Elite First Aid, I believe is the name of it. Anyway, it all came from them. So let me know what you think of my first aid kit and give me some suggestions in the comment below. Please follow us on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook under Ike's Outdoors. Appreciate you guys watching.